welcome to Sapphic Survival Guide, where we are queer to answer your questions. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Ultimatum queer love and not actually answering any questions. I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Gina.
So one of the first things I wanted to say about the show, this is like a little theory of mine. I don't know if this is common knowledge or other people are circulating this theory, but the fact that it's the Ultimatum queer love and not just the Ultimatum makes me think that they're going to have the show branch off into like two different sects. So they're gonna, and sex as in like
sections,
yeah, like section, not sex, but they are gonna have like a queer show and then the straight show, and that way they can have like two shows running at the same time and like release them at different parts of the year and basically make extra money from one concept instead of like having every other season be queer or whatever, because I think the queer love part is also like a marketing tactic and trying to get queer people to watch the show, but I do think it's gonna like branch off into its own separate thing. And that's why they did it that way.
I agree as well, because they're not listed as like season 1 and season 2 on Netflix. They're listed as entirely different shows. Because I went to rewatch the old one, and it's not like season 1. It's listed separately and it's marketed separately. The host, I think, is separate for that same reason. But listen, I'm not complaining about the lack of Vanessa and Nick Lachey. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That does prove my theory though. Like, why would it need to be a separate season? But that also annoys me, because it's just like, just include queer couples. Like, I don't know, they could do this without having it be an entirely separate show, and just don't involve Nick and Vanessa. And it's basically the same thing, just have 2 seasons recording at one time. But I guess for marketing and like letting people know that it's queer, maybe they're like getting a new audience into a show that wouldn't necessarily be into the straight version.
Well, I think it's also queer love, because then they can go any kind of way with it. Like next weekend. I don't know why I said that. next season, it could be all men. The season after that could be all pansexual people. So then you could have like any gender, any couple be mixed up with anybody when you rematch. So like, it gives them an open edit to not just pull lesbians. Obviously, not everybody on the show even identifies as a lesbian, but I don't think Netflix is that progressive to be like, oh, these aren't all lesbians, so let's not call it lesbian love. I think that's for their own benefit, so that like you said, the show can continue to branch, and then they can keep the regular Ultimatum, marry or move on for the straights.
yeah I have like a love hate with that concept, because it's like, why do we have to be like a separate thing? But also like, it does help the community find it, and let's like, so I hate it, but I love it at the same time. I see why it's necessary, but it does annoy me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I've seen all the TikToks I've gone through, and I will echo so much on TikTok, which is like, why aren't there pronouns involved? Why are all the couples basically femme and masc?
Why is the host straight?
Why is the host straight? And why is the only thing they really said about her is that she's not queer? I know, like, I don't like, she didn't want to give any background on like who she is.
Yeah,
like,
why she's
even
there.
When we started it, my girlfriend's like, who's that? And I go,
you know who she is? I know who she is.
I have no idea. Please tell me.
Did you ever watch Reva's TV show?
Not like actively, but I am just from a pop culture standpoint aware that it existed.
She played her pregnant teen daughter, Cheyenne. That's how I know who she is, because she's the only character who's had my name.
Wow, what a connection.
I know. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, well, she had a single mom who worked 2 jobs and loved her kids and never stopped.
And now she's on the queer Ultimatum.
Yeah, wild. Maybe she's gonna like come out. Maybe that, I don't know. That was just, and they were like, "You're not queer, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm not." Like, she was like, "We have to disclose that I'm not queer."
Right. It was, but that was such an awkward opening, because it was literally, "Hi, I'm your host, blah blah blah. Is it true you're not queer?" "No, I'm not." "Oh, you're so beautiful." And then they just moved on, and I literally was like, "What in the world was that?"
Yeah, very strange.
Okay. jumping way ahead, but another thing that happened that I was like, what, they should have edited that out, and it's like almost, I feel like shady that they kept it in.
Mhm.
Obviously, this whole like villain edit is like really making her just look like a wild woman. I don't even know the words to describe what I feel about her behavior. But so she gets her nipples pierced, which whatever, cool, okay. They go to that little bonding thing where they're supposed to like be talking, and she like throws out the fact that she got her nipples pierced out of context. Nobody responds. In fact, I think somebody says that's horrible, and then they move on like it was never said. And I was like, that was so.
I think it was Lexi who said that.
Shady that they left that in the editing.
Yeah, that was so like, I don't know what's going on there, but I just sent you a tweet that I saw, and it's a video of that person on TikTok who does the POV, you have a sleepover date,
the scariest lesbian in Brooklyn series. Oh my
God. And that's Vanessa. This is literally Vanessa. Please watch. I mean, you don't have to like play it, but
you know who she also is. Do you follow that girl Delaney on TikTok who does?
I know. I saw
the
this
series of girl who thinks you're obsessed with her. That's her in every video. Girl who thinks you're obsessed with her. It hurts. I
thought I was that girl. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassing. Like, I definitely think I'm this person when I'm in public, but I'm not like this level. Honestly, okay. Her one redeeming thing in the entire show, like, obviously she's my least favorite character, obviously very, I don't want to armchair diagnose anything, but something's weird is going on. I don't know if it's just like trying to become an influencer. I don't know what's happening here, but I did kind of love when she was like, I can look like I'm about to break dance and started doing the break dance arms. I was like, that's kind of iconic.
No,
that's like
that
the best thing.
Honestly, when the show like first started off and she was like flirting and stuff, I didn't like hate her initially. Like I was like, is she coming in hot? Sure. But and I'm like, this is the kind of people we want on reality TV. I don't want to watch the girl who's like, I don't know. I'm ready for this girl to like go in guns blazing. So I didn't start off like against her by any means. But she is insane in the way she communicates that I lost like some of my like relatability to her where like I was like, I know that I can sometimes come in guns blazing, but she just doesn't even, she just steamrolls really.
Yeah I did appreciate it at first, and I think it is necessary, especially when you're with a bunch well, I guess it's less necessary in this context, but typically when you are a queer woman or a Sapphic person, like you gotta be kind of forward if you want anything to happen, because you're like, will they, won't they, like, are we gonna be friends, like what's the vibe here? So you have to be a little flirty, but like she went very far past a little. And I don't know if I think I sent you this TikTok, but I don't know if you read the comments, but I love to read the comments. And in one of Lexi's videos about Vanessa, she had said she knows what she said to me on our date that didn't make it into the final edit. So when she was like, we're not moving forward, like, no, fuck this, she must have said something that she was like, no, because it kind of seemed like her response to her was like a lot more intense than what we
that
saw.
Makes sense. That makes sense, because it was an intense reaction. I guess I didn't question it too much, because I took it as like basically what she has said was like, I'm not risking anything coming here. My person is obsessed with me, and I have no insecurities. And I also don't want to get married. So like, I don't know. It definitely was like, I'm not invested. I wonder if the piece we missed was about like, I'm here for social media. I'm here because I'm an influencer or something. Because that's obviously like, she's kind of getting that edit where like, we're supposed to be like, oh, you're just here. But that Lexi said that later, like when she was in a confessional or interview or whatever, I think, where she was like, she's just here to be famous. So, which I definitely can see when what seems to me is a very real relationship for Lexi is like on the line, and you're kind of like getting over the fact that there's a TV show there, to then hear somebody who's not taking it seriously at all. I would understand that level of being triggered, because she's like, I'm putting my whole life on blast.
Yeah, she definitely is like giving some clout chaser vibes, and I like would assume that's part of the immediate like red flag with Lexi, because Lexi is actually an influencer and content creator. If you go to her account, like you can tell. And I wonder if that was like a big part of her appeal to Vanessa, because she was like, oh, like I know what she does for a living, I'm gonna go after her. And she was just like, nope, like you're trying to use me to like elevate yourself, and that's not what I'm here for.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Obviously they were not gonna like vibe forever. I think they were
Mhm.
too much of like not the same energy, but
Mhm.
too much. I don't know. I don't want to like compare them, but just in terms of like outgoingness, I don't think that even if those factors had all been taken out, that they were going to be the ones to pick each other. But I do think Vanessa was a little delirious in that she thought everybody was going to want to pick her, especially because at one point in that conversation, she was even like, if you know, essentially reject you. And I'm like, it's not even in your brain that she
Mhm.
doesn't want you,
Mhm.
maybe. Like it's not even in there.
Yeah. 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 She definitely thinks she is a prize to be won, and everyone is like falling at their feet for her. And I feel like this is going to be a real wake up call for her, because I don't think anyone thinks that about her except for maybe Xander.
No, the one thing I will say in her defense is that I think that knowing her and Xander's background, they like were together at a point where it doesn't really sound like Vanessa's got to do much exploring of her sexuality, like outside of that relationship. So if I could almost see the argument of like, I do want to commit to you, but I'm not done having these new experiences. So let's do the show where I get those. And then at the end, I'll feel better committing to you. That obviously has not been expressed, but if that's the only kind of thing where I'm going to give that to her, where I can see how, because she went from, like she said, but her dating experience before Xander was men. So if she went from that to this serious long-term relationship, and she's clearly somebody who would, because not everyone's going to feel like you missed out on something, but she's clearly somebody who's going to feel like she missed out by not having some wild, you know, phase. And
yeah,
that's my only defense of her like true excitement to be a part of this process.
Yeah, I've seen some theories that they one are not an actual couple and have just been like paired together for the show, but I don't think I believe that, because I've seen other theories that they were already married, and that there had been, I saw
like theories that apparently they were influencers on a different like traveler account. So I actually don't think that they were paired together for the show. I think that that Vanessa wants to do it for clout, but I do think they were an actual couple. I just think she's willing to blow it all up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I was like deep diving in their tagged photos, because I was trying to figure out everyone's zodiac signs, because that's what I do when I watch reality TV. And some people didn't have their like a birthday post, so I had to like look at their tagged photos and like really go deep in there. And some people I didn't find anything, because the universe.
Do you have a list of the signs you do have at this point?
I do, and I actually saw a TikTok.
Only 4 episodes are out as we're talking about this.
Yeah. I did see a TikTok that confirmed other ones for me, but I will tell you my list real quick. But what I was saying is, when I was deep diving, I found like a photo shoot of Xander and Vanessa, and I was like, is this an engagement photo shoot? What is this? It was like a picnic, and like it looked like an engagement photo shoot, but then I think it was for one of their, maybe it was a birthday. I don't know what it was for, but it was like, it looked like an engagement. And I was like, what is this? Okay.
Now, Cheyenne, some people could look at some of your pictures and think it was an engagement photo shoot. So pot kettle. Okay.
Okay. But I don't have a ring on.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to guess anyone's signs? Do you know anyone's signs before I read them?
I know
kind of want you to guess.
Virgo, which is hilarious because I don't always like Virgos, but I'm obsessed with her. She's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Do you want to guess anyone else?
Is Tiff a water sign?
Want to say, does Tiff use they, them, or they, she, they? I don't remember.
90% sure it's they, them, but I am only 90% sure on that. See,
Okay.
if Netflix had put out all the pronouns, all of us wouldn't be unintentionally misgendering anybody. So
Yeah.
if we have more information, we'll update it at that time. But from my understanding, everybody is she, her, with the exception of Mal, and somebody else is she, they, although
Xander. Xander, she,
I thought
they.
Xander was also she, her. I thought Xander and Vanessa were both she, her.
I don't know. I saw something that said Xander, she, they, and so is Mal. And then I saw something that said Aussie's pronouns are Aussie, no pronouns. Just say Aussie.
Aussie does not use pronouns.
Yeah.
And Tiff, I believe, is they, them. Yeah, I know Mal, she, they. I just think that there's somebody else who's she, they, but I didn't think it was Xander. In any case.
Yeah, I think it's Xander, but I could be wrong. But okay, so
that's also what kind of bothered me, is that like, oh, the only, like, you're not going to get anybody who's kind of femme presenting who uses a different pronoun than she, her. Like, all the femme presenting people use she, her, and then the people who maybe differ are the ones who like are more gender fluid. Like, can you just deviate from the stereotypes, just like from the heteronormativity, just a smidge more? Like,
and you're not going to give us their pronouns when you have non-cis people and non-gender conforming people on the show. Like, you're just setting them up for failure. Do you just want discourse around the subject, and do you want people to like be outraged about it and annoyed and make a big deal?
What this tells me is that there's not enough people on their executive teams, because nobody even fucking thought about it, I don't think, until all the queer people who are clearly not in that room had the discourse about it. I don't think it was even on their mind until they were like, oh wow, we probably should have thought about it. I don't even think they thought to ask them when they were on the show. Like, I hope I'm it even crossed
giving them the benefit of the doubt and like thinking that they have like this mastermind scheme trying to do this, because I hope like someone in the room was like, we need pronouns, and everyone else just shut them down or something. Like, I hope someone stood up for that. But anyways, back to the astrological signs. So Tiff, which was one of the ones I couldn't find on Instagram, is an Aquarius with a Pisces moon.
Okay, there's the order.
Mal is a Virgo, which we knew. Capricorn moon. Vanessa's a Virgo with the Pisces moon. There's a lot of Virgos and a lot of Pisces moons.
I'm shocked she's a Virgo.
Yeah,
I'm shocked by that.
She has like some mannerisms that remind me of my ex. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't remember exactly what. Me and my girlfriend are about to go rewatch all the episodes after you and I are done recording, so we can be ready for tomorrow. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Lexi's a Capricorn with a Pisces moon. She mentioned that on the show, which I was thankful for.
So many earth signs.
Yoli was Yoli's a Leo with a Gemini. I was gonna guess a fire
sign.
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder I vibe with her.
Yeah. Well, I found something on her Instagram that said Virgo, but this post I found on TikTok says Leo, so kind of confused about that, but that's okay. Xander is a Gemini with a Cancer moon. Checks out.
And people love her, and everybody's like, fuck Geminis. Like, really? Keep that same energy.
Speaking of Geminis, the only Gemini who had their entire big three in a bio was Aussie. Aussie is a Gemini sun, Scorpio moon, Cancer rising. I couldn't find Sam's signs, which was weird to me, because she literally
she's
like
one
reads
in it.
tarot and she's into astrology. Yeah, she didn't have it on her account though. She's an Aquarius with an Aries moon. And then Mildred is this is who was the Virgo. She's a Virgo with a Gemini moon. So Yoli
why's half the cast Virgo?
I know, and Pisces moon or water moons.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then the last one was Ray is actually a Cancer, and I'm pretty sure she has the same birthday as me, but I don't think I have Ray vibes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
did
saw
my
some
research.
stats on another TikTok that was like, we made it 5 minutes into the episode before the mention of zodiac signs. And I was like, I'm surprised that it didn't have their name, their age, their pronouns, and then their fucking sign. At least their sun sign, if not just like the signs of their big three. If they really wanted everybody to tune into that show, that would have been the way to do it.
Yeah. And then, okay. So since you're a dog parent, I don't know if you consider yourself an owner. What do you think about the whole Tiff dog situation?
Thank you so much for asking, because my girlfriend and I have different views on where dogs are allowed. And I will absolutely have my dog in my bed all day. It's fine. We've like a lot of boundaries that don't exist. However, if somebody else does not want a dog in the bed, I am not going to have that kind of a reaction. This is the reason why I think it was so irrational. Sam didn't say, fuck you and your dog's never coming in the bed, and don't ever ask me about it again, and I'm incapable of change. Emily, shut up.
Emily heard fuck you and your dog and got mad.
Emily got involved immediately. Sam said, I'm open to it, but my concern is that I don't want to run out of leg room if it's a bigger dog. And what Tiff should have said was, so it sounds like we're going to need a really big bed and everything's going to be okay. And that should have been the end of the fucking conversation. Their response was absolutely irrational and wasn't even willing to hear anything Sam was saying. Now, Sam, I think, needs to stop trying to fix everybody. And she should have, she's so patient that it like annoys me, because I'm like, you're giving people grace who don't need it. You're actually you're going as far as to enable that behavior. You know?
Yeah. I felt like with Tiff, you think they would have discussed that before they decided to pair up? Was like everyone else paired up and they were like, hey, you two get to know each other, and
I actually don't. I actually think I think they got paired like almost by default in a way, because they were going to be the last two left. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. Because it like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I saw someone say that they think that Ray and Vanessa kind of got paired as like a last ditch resort, like that Vanessa was leaning towards Lexi, but I don't know. But that was like a theory I saw.
I do think that Vanessa was leaning towards Lexi until Lexi flipped the switch. And I don't think she was like fully even willing to understand that like it was a full no, because when they did their little like speeches, she like included Lexi, and I'm like, how do you not understand that girl fucking hates you? And
I think she does understand. She chooses to like ignore it and just like steamroll and just like has her own like version of events that fit her narrative or something. Like she just doesn't care.
Absolutely exhausting. Now I'll say this about Mildred. I don't think her and Tiff are right for each other whatsoever. However, when she's with Ozzy, I think Ozzy could learn a lot from Mildred, in the sense that Sam is so enabling and Mildred is quite the opposite. That I think that in the end they should there should be a happy medium rather than flipping the switch that much in that scenario. But I think that Ozzy should be around somebody who isn't willing to be so enabling, so that there's more ability to learn. And I don't think Ozzy is super receptive of it quite yet. And I really don't think that the friend being around, I think that was a major setback in a way. Like it seemed like Ozzy was having some sort of progress until that lunch.
Repeating old patterns.
Seemed to be a disconnect from there. And so I'm more concerned that I'm not even really that invested, to be honest, in Ozzy and Sam's relationship, but I would have been more interested in Ozzy's growth, but I'm not quite sure we're going to get that anymore.
Yeah.
And can I just say, for other people who are like, how do you have a conversation about somebody without using any pronouns? I literally just did it. So really not that hard, because
it takes a little bit of extra thought, but just try.
But the littlest bit, it's anyway, that's just my commentary. And people are like, it's really not that hard. Just use your brain. You can do it. But I also think we're gonna get not tons of like screen time from either Ozzy or Sam, unless they're having those kinds of big blow-ups with other people.
And how about when Mildred said to Tiff, this isn't going to be like our other breakups. I was like, oh, I felt that. I've been there. And it is always like your other break.
But that is the most telling thing about anything they've ever said.
Yeah.
It is That's the most telling thing.
Yeah. I know all I need to know about the relationship just from that. Like I've been there. It's okay to walk away.
My one thing, just switching to another couple, Mal and Yoli, I don't like see the problem with them, like as like the couple, like I guess besides like Mal's trying to be more financially stable, they don't really seem to have that many issues. And while a lot of people are rooting for Yoli and Xander because of how awful Vanessa is, it's hard to root for that when like I don't like the idea that Yoli is finding something better than Mal. Not saying like, I mean, even that's comparisons happening. But one of the narratives that I think is like kind of not being highlighted by the discourse online is that one of Mal's concerns is also that they don't know that Yoli can always be authentic and genuine because she falls in love so easily. And then now she is falling in love so easily with Xander that it's kind of proving Mal's point.
Yeah, maybe that will be all Mal needs to see.
I don't know how Mal's going to handle it because they're a very chill person. They don't seem like somebody who's going to erupt. So I'm interested to see what like their discourse is about it when they talk back, after the 3 weeks and they're back together.
Yeah, I was surprised that I was rooting for Mal and Lexi as much as I was, though, when I realized they have like a 10-year age gap between them. And I didn't even like realize that. I think they, like, from what we've seen maturity wise, like they seem like pretty equal in that.
Can I ask you an inappropriate question?
Yeah.
What couple, paired, unpaired, original, unoriginal, would you most want to have a threesome with?
Probably them.
That was gonna be my answer.
Like they're the fan favorite, I think. Like
that was gonna be my answer for sure. Or Mal and Yoli instead of Lexi.
If mine was the original couples, it would still be Lexi and Ray. I don't know. I like Lexi. I think she's cool. She's like, I like her vibe.
Do you like her vibe or do you like her gigantic boobs?
I'm not even a boob person. I'm a butt person.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So that's like not even like part of the deciding factor. Like it's about personality. That's just bonus,
also,
I guess.
Hilarious because Netflix and all the promotion is putting her in that blue bikini front and fucking center. Like, I understand that Lexi knew what she was doing putting that on, but Netflix was like, oh, and we're going to put you everywhere we possibly fucking can.
Yeah. They know. She knows. I mean, she has an OnlyFans. She knows what she's doing.
Get that bag, girl.
Yeah.
Like, she's
promoting her shit.
Yeah. Do it. Absolutely.
She knows. She's a businesswoman. So who is your favorite contestant on the show?
Oh, Mal for sure. But only because I am attracted to her, not like because she's the star reality TV person or anything.
Right. Well, I mean, who isn't? But who's your least favorite? As if I need to ask.
I don't actually think Vanessa's my least favorite. I think Tiff
Who's
is.
your least? Wow. Why? Because of the whole dog thing. Is that why? Or is there more to
everything they do I find to be really chuggy. Like even the way that they were talking to Mildred and they were like, it's been 1 year and 11 months till I met your beautiful fine ass. Like, I don't know like what like stereotypical mask handbook they read and then just decided to like act that way. And the way that like anytime they feel disconnected from Mildred, they just kind of like force an intimate physical connection rather than trying to like use their words. And so Vanessa's at least entertaining. And while like she's a mess, I also can't wait to see what she does next. If Tiff was never on the screen again, I wouldn't even think about her again. She annoys the fuck out of me.
Okay.
It's a hot take. I'm sorry.
I feel that. I was surprised, but I get where you're coming from with that.
What are your favorites and least who are your favorites and least favorites? You said Lexi.
I do like Lexi. I think she's cool and like intimidating, and like as a Capricorn rising, I think like Capricorns are cool. I don't know, I feel like drawn to her, not like in like a sexual way, not like, oh, her boobs are big, of course I'm drawn. No, I think she like is, I don't know, she's a fucking girl boss. I don't know, like not, and like fuck capitalism, but like she just has like an aura to her that like is like intimidating and cool, and I want to be her friend. So Lexi, if you're listening to this, hit me up at Hot Mespian.
Can I say a hot take about Lexi? Not like I think she would appreciate this if she is still listening.
Okay.
I think Netflix and Vanessa keep like calling her femme. And I'm like, okay, yes, she has long hair and wears jewelry. Would I describe her and her energy as femme? I'm not quite sure. And same kind of with Ray. Like they're like, oh, they're femme girls. And I'm like, they're
Ray
femme
just
the
has
way
long
I'm
hair.
femme.
Yeah.
They're a little more femme than me, but like not much.
I don't know. Going off of like vibes alone, I would say that Ray has like more of like a mask energy than you.
Sure, but I think Lexi brings that as well.
Yeah.
That's more my point. They don't read as like femme on femme to me. They read more as like genderless. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not like quite the word, but neither is femme.
Yeah, it's just like somewhere in the middle. And that's exactly what Mal said in their one conversation about how once you get to know me, you'll see like I'm not as mask as I look on the outside. Like there's more of like a feminine energy or like way of being or just like feminine stereotypes. And
I think that
I was
about
like,
Mal
that's
and
so
Xander.
common. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Anyway, continue.
What did I say? Oh, I said I liked Lexi. I like Mal. Like they're the fan favorites, and I feel like that's why a lot of us are rooting for them, just because you can tell how like grounded they are, and like they're there for the reality TV, but at the same time they are gonna like tell you how it is, so it's still entertaining. Like how when Vanessa was like, oh my god, like me and Mal had a connection, and Mal was like, I haven't always known what a yes is, but I know what a no is. And
she
I was
also
like,
said we only talked for that one time.
Yeah. And it was like very composed and like mature, but still like dragging the fuck out of her. And it's great to have that kind of person to root for in reality TV, because it's like, you haven't done anything to make me hate you yet. But like
you're a real one for sure.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, Mal, Lexi are my favorites. Earth signs, of course. And then least favorite, probably Vanessa. I don't know, like I don't care enough about the others to like have them be there, but Vanessa is just like, why are you doing this, girl? And I feel bad because I don't want to like dogpile on her. Like I'm sure she's getting enough hate, but also
I think she needed the reality check, though.
Hearing the feedback, I'm hoping it leads to a changing of her ways, because something's going on there. But it is entertaining. I hope it's just a character she's playing. I hope it's like, this is the edit, this is the character, this is the drama. I hope this isn't really her, but I don't know what to think.
Agreed. I really am like antsy for the next couple of episodes to come out. So
me too. I'm stressed about tomorrow because I have the Ultimatum to catch up on, and then we have part 3 of the fucking Vanderpump Rules finale. I think I need to stay in. I have important commitments.
Here, I'll give you a reason. This is queer TV. We have to support queer media so that it keeps getting made. The sooner you watch it, the better the results are. So you are just doing your job as a good gay person. So
that's true.
No complaints there. I say
same
do
with
what you gotta do.
Vanderpump Rules, because Ariana, who just got cheated on sadly by a fucking worm with a mustache, is bisexual. She's our bisexual
Worm
queen.
with a mustache.
That's what one of the other guys called him.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he does look like a worm with a mustache. But yeah, she's bi. He outed her in the show, and she was like, that wasn't your place to do that. He like told everyone that she like hooked up with another girl in the cast, and she was like, that really wasn't your place. Yeah, that was like a few seasons ago, and she stayed with him. And I was like, I wonder if like it was kind of planned to come out that way and like for the drama, or if he really like outed her and then told her, and she was like, okay, we're gonna have to record a response to this. She seemed pissed though, so I could see it being real. And he's a piece of shit, so I could also, I don't know. Yeah. Is there anything else about the first few episodes that you wanted to talk about before we wrap up?
No, I feel like I got all of my thoughts out. I'm gonna have more when I watch, so we'll do a part 2.
Well, yeah,
and I'm
we're
sure
gonna
it's
do
not
part
all
2.
gonna be released, so it'll probably be 3 parts of this, all this bonus stuff we're giving everybody. So
yeah,
appreciate it. Appreciate the Queer TV. Go watch it.
Okay,
so you know where to normally find us everywhere on social media at Sapphic Survival Guide, except for Twitter, which is just at Sapphic Survival. More bonus content like this can be found every single week if you subscribe, patreon.com/Sapphic Survival Guide. And you can follow me anywhere online at the Lead Regina, including my website, theleadregina.com.
And you can find me, Cheyenne, at Hot Mesbian on pretty much any social media platform. Make sure to follow and subscribe for part 2 because we're releasing it as soon as possible. And you know you're going to want to be here when it drops.